If you want to steadily see a growth, post every day. I mean, it might sound daunting to post every single day, but you just got to do it. Even if it's a 6-second video of your product that you're like putting your phone in front of and you put like a little text over it, like sometimes that just gets the job done.
Hi, I'm Josh Owen. As the owner of a video marketing company in New Orleans, I've been on the quest to learn everything I can about marketing. Everyone has a different style, different strategy, and a different experience. Is there a wrong way to do it? A right way to do it? Let's find out together as we make marketing make sense. Welcome back, everybody, to another fantastic, marvelous, whatever you want to say, episode of Make Marketing Make Sense. Today, I'm joined by Kristin from Urban South. Kristin, you are now in a different role than I think we first met. What role are you now at Urban South?
I'm the marketing manager.
So you are the official marketing manager.
Yeah. I mainly focus on digital marketing. There's still a marketing director who works more closely with the sales team. But yeah, I do marketing stuff.
Well, today we're talking about content marketing.
Yes.
In 2024, because that's the year we're in.
Yes.
And I think you know a little thing about that, thing or two about making content in the digital space.
Yeah, we focus a lot on content marketing at Urban South.
Yeah.
It's an easy way to get that organic reach going and increase your engagement without having to spend too much money.
And hey, people love that.
Yeah.
People love that. Well, when you're talking about it, I mean, I'm always so curious because Urban South, I think one thing that everybody, when they look at it, can say is what a beautiful image, what a beautiful brand.
Oh, thanks.
But, especially with social media, I feel like we're always like, wow, you guys are out there. You're just hitting it at the pavement. You're doing it. So my question is, after this long-winded introduction of my question that I've had, is what is your process? Like, how do you get that all? How do you go decipher what you're going to do? I mean, I think everybody gets a little analysis paralysis when they're trying to come up with like, all right, I got to make content. Like, what do I got to do?
Right, yeah. Making content, it gets easier as you practice, obviously, like the technicality of like getting the tripod and getting the lighting and that kind of thing. You got to get all your equipment and just invest a little bit in that, and it goes a long way. But as far as the decision-making process into building content around a brand, what kind of doors do you want to open for people? You have an amazing product or an amazing service. How do you get people through that door and enter in that world for them? And how do you talk to them as a brand? It's all about developing your tone and your style and the things that you want to transparently say to people. And, what are you trying to promote? Like for us, obviously it's beer, but nobody really wants to see like a commercial style ad where it's like, drink a Paradise Park. But we have to like relate to people and talk to them. So a lot of it is a lot of research. Sometimes you might look into our office and they're all on their phones, but we're literally like, okay, that's a good trend, that's a good trend, that's a good trend. And then when you find something that's like, it could just be as silly as a dance or a voiceover, or maybe you want to make unique content and talk into a little microphone about like the brewing process or about your service or your product. Whatever you decide to do, you have to do it in a way that's like engaging and conversational without it being like a direct sell.
Yeah.
It has to be relatable, whether that's funny, informative, like a sneak peek into something. And hopefully in that message that you send to them, you are also letting them into your space and your product and what you're actually trying to sell them. Because at the end of the day, it's all about selling what you want them to buy.
Which is beer.
Yeah, for us, it's beer.
Lots of beer.
Lots and lots of beer. Sell more beer.
Well, I guess, too, I'm curious. Do you, what's your week-to-week look like? What's your day-to-day? How do you go about, like, let's say you're going to, you just posted a video. What was the process in posting that video? Yeah,
so it's not as organized as you might think. And we do, like, bank videos, like we'll make 2 to 3 a day and sit on them so that we don't have to worry for, like, the next 3 days. But it's really, we make our content calendar a good 3 months in advance, just a, like, overview of, like, okay, on this day we need to inform them that Paradise Strawberry is coming out.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
And you have to tell them about our anniversary party coming up. That's a great event. Like, and it's like, we don't necessarily want to overload them with like graphics. So like you decide, like you can parse out the information that you want them to know and then go through and decide what's going to be photo, video, graphic, and make sure that you kind of mix it up so that you don't look like a walking ad. And then from there, on a week-by-week basis, we look at trends, because you can't predict what's going to get popular in 3 months if you're talking about like vertical video trends. So we look at what's happening, and we talk and giggle and write, basically storyboard, but not like in any official capacity. We used to, but that took way too long. You just have to get out there and make it.
Yeah.
Make it 3 or 4 times, save it to your drafts, write a caption later, just get out there, put your face on the screen, even if you think no one wants to see my face on TikTok. They do. They want to know who's behind the brand, and they want to see you smiling and have a good time with your brand, and know that like, oh, it's a person, and through that process of like laying out for months and then week by week determining what kind of trend we're going to utilize to promote the product. It's all about like that little twist, that little spin you can put on it. And like right now on TikTok, I think one of our biggest audiences is a term that I think I've coined, a fruited sour girly.
Oh.
The girls love sour beers, and not just women, but it's definitely like a way to introduce beer as like a digestible, non-intimidating, like it can be like pink. Yeah. And you can actually put glitter in it if you want. Yeah. And I think that has like opened up a world of this product that women maybe have previously thought that they weren't really allowed to share the space of. So, we're kind of carving out these audiences through our videos, which is very cool.
That's awesome. Wow. Yeah. I mean, do you, that I'm just going to take a moment here because I lost my train of thought.
Sorry, I rambled.
No, I mean, there was something great in there that I was thinking about, but then I started thinking about Urban South, and I was like, man, that beer,
That beer's so good.
No, it was just more of, I think that's so true, though, about introducing people to the brand through the easy-to-drink things that are like the sours.
Yeah,
and
the
things
fun
like that.
stuff.
The fun stuff.
Yeah, not that all beer isn't fun, but there's some really fun beer at our tap room, and I want people to know about it.
Yeah. No, and my thing, too, is you're saying just go out there and film it. A lot of people are kind of like, oh,
Yeah, so if you want to go through like a step-by-step process of what I mean when I say just go do it, like get your tripod. If it's just you, you're gonna sweat. You're gonna feel awkward, especially if you're in the tap room, like me. Like wherever you're filming, there will be people, and they will see you, and they might even laugh.
Yeah,
I've definitely had a few like, hee, what is she doing? But I mean, they'll forget about it in 5 minutes. So don't even worry if there's people that see you. But it helps if you have a buddy. Yeah. Like our internship program that we have here, I always make sure I have 2 interns because whatever project they're doing, like it just helps if you have someone. Yeah. You just set up your tripod, set up your lighting, and watch the video a few times. Put that forward-facing camera on so you can see yourself, check your hair, whatever. I always put an AirPod in one ear and try to cover it so that if I'm doing like a voiceover or a mouth over, like I can get it perfectly and I don't have to like try to listen through it through the traffic on Chapatulas or whatever the beer brewers are doing. I oftentimes lose some of that. If it's a dance, it don't have to be perfect. It's honestly hilarious if it's not. And if you need a mini microphone, literally Amazon, all the stuff Amazon. Always put closed captions on. Sometimes if you want to like type them out yourself, that's fine. I know there are apps that can do it for you. Get an app like CapCut and cut it all together, and voila, you have a video.
Bang,
and
boom.
it's okay if it's rough and ready. Like that's kind of what makes social media in the modern time right now. It doesn't have to be polished like Instagram 2012. We are 10 years down the road, and it can be, funny, kind of blurry, kind of off, weird, chaotic. Like anything that gets somebody through that door is what they want to see, and they want to see you, and what makes your brand your brand.
And especially my curiosity, too, is because you mentioned a little while back, if people walk in the door, they see you guys like flipping through your phone. You're like, how much time do you spend investigating, looking at other TikToks versus the time you make, turn in making them?
I mean, I personally spend an abhorrent amount of time on TikTok.
It's like, what if I can make my addiction my job? Am I really winning?
A lot of times the excuse is I'm doing research. It might be 10:30 in bed or 1 a.m. Sometimes I'm like, oh God, but I'm doing research. So if you're already in those spaces, it's literally as simple as just sending that video to the account just to remember at 9 a.m. when you get to work. But I know for us, we don't really like in our personal lives, we don't utilize Instagram Reels. So all we do on Reels is work research.
Wow.
Like earlier this morning, we were like, okay, we have to announce that crawfish is available all day. What is like a really fun trend that's like 8 seconds long that we can just like do? And so we literally like, it's like, I don't know if you've seen like Toy Story, but I think like the piggy bank character is like flipping through the TV channels really fast. That's us. We're like, we're like, okay, that one. And then, you know, we just like roughly like write out what we want to do and like show it to each other and whatever. And it's just that quick. Like,
you guys have like a mad scramble of content. You guys are like content masterminds over there. Just pumping it out.
Sometimes it's like, what is, like, there's so much Elmo. Like right now, Elmo's having another resurgence.
Oh my goodness.
And like he says the funniest stuff. And so it's like, how can we relate this like canonically 4-year-old character?
Oh my goodness, there's gonna be some Elmo crawfish times coming out in Nervous South. All right.
Yeah, it's great. It's so funny. And even if like you're not saying something that's totally positive all the time, like you can dig on yourself and that's okay. Like it's better to I'm sorry, I kicked the microphone.
You're good.
It's better to dig on yourself and on your brand in like a playful way than it is on your customers.
Oh, for sure.
I really don't like digging on our customers. Sometimes it's kind of funny to be like, oh, the beer bros, but like it's really more, I think, sustainable for you to be like, you know, these are the kind of mistakes that we make sometimes. LOL, it can be funny to work in beer. So if you're ever looking for like a negative twist on something that isn't always totally positive, dig on yourself, not your customers.
Yeah. Well, it kind of is where I was thinking too of asking you next is, you know, what kind of content have you noticed? Like, you know, I think it is good that you're doing positive content, but, you know, what content have you noticed that you've been posting has been the best content you've been posting, or, you know, what content has really been working throughout all your research and, you know, thinking and developing and all that stuff?
Yeah. I mean, the types of content that works is typically things that that kind of occur inside the brewery. Like I know over the summer we actually got to feature one of the brewers, and they're such shy creatures. They never want to be on a TikTok.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true. That's definitely true.
Are very sweet and shy, and so any chance we get to feature them, that always pops off.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we do a lot of like collabs with people, and I know we're probably going to get into more of the collaborative space, but over Mardi Gras, we try to do at least one video that gets attention, because breaking through the Mardi Gras noise is so hard. And we did a collaboration with Every Can Counts, and they came to the brewery to make some content with us, and they were running this this campaign all through Mardi Gras, where if you have like a beer can, they have their like backpacks, and you throw it in their backpack and it gets recycled.
Wow.
So they wanted to draw attention to that, and we put up posters and everything. But, of course, there was this funny TikTok trend that people use oftentimes with their pets, and it's the song Disrespect Your Surroundings, and it's like this like metal, like, poof, poof, but we cut it to where it starts with Respect Your Surroundings, and we made this like headbanging video of us just like crushing cans and like throwing them in the backpack, and that one popped off.
Yeah,
so it's
awesome.
like, it's pure, like it's wholesome. The wholesome stuff really hits home more than like the digs into people.
Yeah, and that one, I mean, because like one like that, like how much time did you spend kind of concepting that out and knowing like that's the angle you wanted to go for?
That was literally something that like came to my mind immediately when they were like, we need content. Like, what should we make? I was like, well, hear me out. And
I've got this trending sound, and if I cut it just perfectly, it'll fit perfectly
none of them
for
had
this.
ever heard of the trend, and they were like, we don't know. And I was like,
trust me.
Let's just try it.
Yeah.
And so of course outside, you know, we wanted to like make it look like people were lining up for Mardi Gras. So we we naturally have like a little fenced area that kind of looks like you're behind a barrier or barricade. And once again, there were lots of people hanging out, drinking their beers, and then there's me stomping on cans and head banging and like throwing things, and people were like, "What is going on?" But it was just fun. If you're having fun, if you're being energized, and you are making the space look as fun and wholesome and great as you know it is, then it's believable. It's transparent. So yeah, and the process of that was literally just like, come on, please try it with me. And then we had a great time. We were laughing so hard, and it did great.
Because, and I love all of that. And, one of the things, and I know you guys have done like collabs with like Juvenile and Dong Fong and things like that. And I'm curious about those collabs, because one of the things I'm noticing about collabs is, sometimes it does, it just goes on both your pages, which is great.
Yeah,
gets a lot
like
of visibility.
The physical Instagram collab is literally between the two accounts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And both accounts, you're getting a lot of visibility. But sometimes I wonder, do you have to like kind of craft what's like the best way to craft the right narrative in those? Because sometimes I notice if the narrative's off on it, or in whatever cases, you don't get as much, like maybe it's, just for their page and not for your page, and maybe you people don't notice you as much. So like, what's the way to craft a better, like the best collab post?
The best collab post, if you can get, both products together. Like, I think the best one that we did with Dong Fong was when we did last year's Carnival Time beer. We had a video of the family coming to the tap room and literally sliding a king cake into a beer tank, and that was like the most like visual representation of a literal collab that we could have done. And it was Kyle, the CEO, and the family of Dong Fong just literally around the tank and just sliding the beer, and it was like, we literally combined the two elements in that video.
People waited in line for those, and you guys just slide them in a beer tank. No,
we actually no Dong Fong king cakes are ever harmed in the making of Carnival Time.
Okay, good.
Just that one. And so, that was probably the best, visual representation of the two of us collabing. But with stuff like our Juvenile Juvie Juice collab, it can be very, give and take. Like when he comes to the tap room, that's typically more of our audience that
makes
engages.
A lot of sense.
And when he's like on stage drinking a Juvie Juice, it's more of his audience that would be into his performance. And recently we did meet and greets at, we do them all the time with he's wonderful. We love working with him, and we love how much he loves Juvie Juice. It's incredible.
We love his love.
It's so great. Like it's such a good collaboration. And he goes to stores and he meets and greets. Like it's so great. Like the community literally gets to come out, try Juvie Juice, meet Juvenile, and it's like the best. And so when we post about it, that's always a collaborative post, and that melds the two audiences really, really well.
Yeah. Because you notice, like, I guess too, are you checking too how much these posts improve your following count and how many people convert from that? Like, are they also not just liking and commenting on these posts, but also you're seeing like jumps in your like follower counts and stuff from these posts too?
Yeah, every time we have like a collaboration go up, we do gain followers from their audience and they gain followers from ours. But followers and likes are such like vanity metrics that like we love a boost.
Yeah.
But it's really about like the engagement and the reach. Any jump in organic reach.
Yeah.
Any like time somebody like not archives, like saves it or sends it. Oh, we love people send our posts. That kind of stuff will put our content in front of more people than just a like or a follow. So that's kind of what we look for.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it seems like it's working out for you.
Yeah.
Like, Things are growing. Things are on the up and up,
Yeah. It's great. And sometimes it makes content planning a little bit easier. It takes some of the pressure off, because sometimes the other accounts will do a beautiful post that we hit accept and we're like, it looks great. Thanks. So
we'll take that.
Yeah, right. We'll just take that.
Yeah.
And it helps when you work with other local brands, because we are, really solidifying ourselves as like a staple of New Orleans when we combine forces with other people that are also staples of New Orleans.
Well, speaking of those other people, if you were to talk to them about if they want to make great content, just like you guys are, if you were to give them some quick tips, these are the things you should be definitely doing to make great content, what would you tell them? What would those tips be?
Yeah, I had all this written down. Like last night, I was literally like, I'm going to tell them all of this.
Yeah, get it out there. You're here to spread the word, spread the message,
Okay, what was like the...
Prophet Kristin's on the case.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to remember everything that I was like, I had lined up. I would say the only thing that's coming to mind is my stance on ChatGPT, but I know that's not even the biggest thing. Sometimes the captions can sound corny. Be very careful when you use ChatGPT. Rewrite if you have to. Don't let it call something an extravaganza or a bash. It loves that word. And that's my TED Talk. And let's see. If you want to steadily see a growth, post every day. I mean, it might sound daunting to post every single day, but you just got to do it. Even if it's a 6-second video of your product that you're like putting your phone in front of and you put like a little text over it, like sometimes that just gets the job done.
Yeah.
And you're still putting your brand out there, you're still pushing, and you're getting it in front of people's eyes. Obviously, I feel like this is a no-brainer, but in case it hasn't been like spoken aloud, vertical video is being pushed way harder than pictures. And pictures are being pushed way harder than graphics. Instagram will actually scan your content, and if there's too many words on a post, it's going to hide it. The algorithms don't work like you think they do. I mean, unless, you already know. I don't want to be explaining it to you. But it only shows your content to the first 5% of your followers, and if they like it, it shows it to the next 5%. Like you're not just posting something and the people are just ignoring it. Like they're literally not seeing it. So you have to be able to make something that is engaging enough, silly enough, informative enough, interesting enough, relevant to what they want to see, and the first 5% will like it, and then it'll follow through, and then you'll get that like viral moment that you want. Let's see, what else is there?
Well,
use your stories.
Yeah, there you go. Boom, do it.
Yeah,
use the stories.
Put it on your story, because I know that I personally and a lot of people that are my age will scroll through stories more than they'll scroll through the feed. Gosh, it's all free marketing. It's free platforms.
Yeah.
Use it, and don't sweat it if it doesn't go viral, because the worst case scenario, nobody sees it.
Yeah.
It is actually kind of hard to get canceled. Don't be so worried that you're gonna say something like a curse word, or like use a sound with a curse word. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
People are a little edgier than you think they are, and they're gonna be okay with it. If you feel like you're too out of touch to learn something like CapCut or TikTok, if you know how to use that brand new coffee maker you have, if you learned how to use Facebook, you can use these apps.
Boom.
And you just have to get up and do it. And if it's not perfect, you'll learn.
Yeah.
If it flops, make another one. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. You'll be fine.
I feel like that's the whole theme here is don't sweat it.
Don't sweat
just make it.
It's fun.
It's gonna be great. It's
yeah,
gonna be great.
It's just for fun.
Yeah, it's just for fun. Just get out there and do it.
Yeah. One time I made a TikTok about it was like this weird sound from like a comedian or something, and it was like thanks for nothing, and I switched a beer for an empty glass, and it was like about when you don't tip a bartender, and we got on anti-tipping TikTok.
Oh,
the
wow.
comments were brutal. They were like, why should I tip a bartender? And I was like,
wow.
hello?
Wow.
Where
Usually
are
it's
we?
the opposite. Yeah.
We landed on the wrong side of TikTok.
Oh, no.
And well.
Yeah, that's TikTok for you.
Yeah,
you never know where you're going to go, but there's all kinds of places you can go.
Dude, yeah, there's all different areas you can land. But it was like, oop. Oh, well.
Yeah. Oh, well.
We just made a new one.
Well, that is all fantastic. And, somehow I've got to transition out of here, so I'm just going to I'm going to just pop in and say, well, thanks so much for talking all this great content stuff with us. I mean, oh my gosh, action-packed. We had you got so much across in that last 2 minutes. People are going to be having to write everything down on their pencils and paper. But before we leave, the most important part is sharing where people can find you in Urban South, in the digital sphere, and on social media. So let the people know. Where can they find you guys?
Yeah, or online, we are at Urban South Beer on most platforms. Our website is urbansouth.com, and our tap room is located on Chapatula Street. You should definitely come through. It's real cute. We have crawfish on the weekends. Our anniversary party's coming up in
snap.
March. It's a free event. It's video game themed graphics, courtesy of me and my team.
Wow.
Just shameless self plug.
Okay.
And it's right near the convention center, 1645 Chapatulas. We have a great time, and it's a great vibe. Love working there.
If you haven't been there, I don't know where you've been in your life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. If you had a Paradise Park,
go
you've
see
had
it
our
out.
beer.
Check it out, Urban South. And we'll check you all out on the next episode. Thank you guys for joining us. See you next time.
Bye.
This has been Make Marketing Make Sense, brought to you by Comfystone. If you need video content for social media, your website, or email marketing, hit up Comfystone at comfystone.com and follow Comfystone on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.